Welcome. The Bosu Ball yoga video series. This is step 6. This is where the poses get really difficult. And it might take a long time to get to, a year or two, maybe never. You can always practice them on the walls, the poses themselves. I wouldn't suggest doing the yoga poses on the Bosu Ball if you're not familiar with them. So we're going to focus on half moon. Half moon is an excellent pose for core, for glute work, hamstring stretching. Half moon is a really good overall pose, great for the SI joint, great for the shoulders if you do it right. So just to refresh your memory on what half moon is, I'm going to do it without a block. And I'm going to try to pretend that my IT bends, my hamstrings are tight. So remember, half moon would be, I'm standing on the wall, I'm practicing the pose. So my hamstrings are a little tight, so you might look kind of like this, right? A lot of core work to keep myself up because I'm not holding anything. So you should feel a lot of work here. This foot is strong, right? My shoulder's against the wall. My knee is slightly bent and going straight forward. I'm not letting it curve in. And remember, if you saw the study on this one, you could lift your ankles, your heel off the ground to get even additional work. So that's half moon. Half moon in a yoga class would look something like this. Excellent pose for building strength. So on the Bosu Ball, what you do is that same thing, but take it nice and slow and easy, and try not to freak out. When you shift your eyes, your balance changes significantly. Like in tree pose, if you look up, it changes your balance dramatically. So you start out here. You can use the wall if you want. You can start out in a kind of a warrior 3, half warrior 3, and see how much my leg is moving. I'm on my weak leg now, so that's okay. The foot in the air is working. Again, you could use the wall just for additional support. You find your half moon. If you wanted to take the hand off the wall, easy peasy, or put your hand here. So half moon, whoa, on the Bosu Ball. And that was an illustration of how not to freak out when you start to feel like you fall. I kind of felt it, but I let my body deal with it for a second, and I ended up not falling. And if I hadn't been tired or on my weak leg, I could have recovered. So we'll do the other side. So find the center. Yeah, focus on calming down, making the slight changes needed. So I'm kind of putting this together step by step, getting my hand down here, making the adjustments here, my foot up working. And then see, I'm still looking down a lot. My shoulders are opening and I'm still looking down, and now I change my gaze and notice how my leg is having to work more. And there was a freak out moment. Okay. And another one. But I got through them. And that's similar to the swimming, triathletes. Get through your freak out moments and you find a place to, it's nice and easy. So, half moon on the Bosu Ball. Another challenging pose. So this is a nice hip stretch. I'll show you what it looks like without the Bosu Ball. It's for the benefit of Coach Sherry Ann. So the pose is here. Remember, the foot's always flexed, flexed foot to keep the knee joint together. And coming down, you might stay here, maybe come all the way down. Okay. The idea is that eventually you get your shin and your foot hooked into armpits to move into a arm balance. But it's an excellent IT band stretch and hamstring stretch. So on the Bosu ball, what that looks like is, again, just a practice of not freaking out. If you don't have a lot of flexibility in the hip, I wouldn't do this one. So here, and you might stop and stay here. This is like excellent. Okay. Here's the pose. And if you felt froggy, think about grabbing and lifting up. If you had loose hamstrings of that leg. Or you could return back. Shake, shake, shake the hips. And if you want to try the other side. I didn't try the other side. One hip is generally always going to be tighter, so don't force both sides to go if one says no. And then grab the foot if you super froggy, and up. Back down. And there you go. So excellent work. If you can do those, from there the bouncing on the Bosu ball is limitless to you. So good job.